So I'm leaving Hood River. Today will be the first time I go into a metropolitan area since I left the Twin Cities a week and 3 days ago. So I'll be going through downtown Portland. That should be a challenge, but hopefully it doesn't suck. It's Sunday, shouldn't be rush hour. All I'm looking to do is just get through it and treat it like a hub. And I just had an apple and some water. Yeah, that's all I ate. All right, let's hit the road. Yesterday, I challenged myself to get as far as I could to find an impromptu place to sleep before sundown. I was actually pretty successful. Now I'm getting up as early as I can to hit the road again. All the bags are packed, motorcycle's ready. I'm ready to see the Pacific. Here we go. This is the last leg until I finally reach it. Wow. Coming from the exact middle of the continent all the way to the end. It is really cool. It's a really cool feeling. Just taking my way here, enjoying everything on the way, and then finally making it. I'm excited. So, let's go. Today, after more than a week of travel, I'll finally be finding myself on the Pacific Ocean. A major goal of this season will be achieved. There's one last obstacle in the way between me and the beach. I'll have to cross one more range of mountains, the Cascades. The Cascade Mountains act as a sort of shield when it comes to rainfall. As you've seen from yesterday's crossing of Oregon, much of the state is pretty dry. Once I pass into the Cascades and onto the other side, I'll be in the temperate rainforest that runs along the Pacific Northwest. It's the same in this region as it is in Minnesota. The rain comes from the west. When storms hit the Cascade Mountains, however, precipitation comes down in this area pretty hard. Around Mount Hood, forests can get an annual rainfall of 8.2 feet, or 98.5 inches per year. Some areas of rainforest can see more than 10 feet of rainfall per year. After doing research, there's one thing that I didn't expect. The temperate rainforests of the Cascades have 4 times the biomass of rainforests in the tropics. These forests have more living and decaying material than any other. The reason for this is because there's very small chances of fire because their dry season is so short. Dry seasons are typically around the time that I'm riding through now, in June and July. Some years, phenomena such as El Nino and La Nina prevent dry seasons from happening at all. The biggest threats to life around here are blowdowns and avalanches. All that rain and no fire to clear it means that lots of life grows, lives, and dies here. I'm just surprised at how much of it there really is. Now, I was debating whether or not to add this next segment, but I'm going to anyway. I'm not exactly riding through it, but I'm very close. A section of Northern California and Southern Oregon has threatened numerous times to merge and create their own state. This is the proposed state of Jefferson.
On this episode, Phantom Borders, the state of Jefferson.
The Jefferson movement has made a few serious attempts at statehood over the last 75 years. The flag of Jefferson is a gold pan with 2 X's representing the states of Oregon and California that have both failed to represent the people of Jefferson. The region that would make up Jefferson is a rural, more conservative region of the Pacific Coast that believes that they have no fair shot at representation at the state or national level. In 1941, the mayor of Port Orford, Oregon, said that the highlighted counties here should break away from their states and create a new one. Much like the proposed state of Absaroka, the constituents of the proposed state of Jefferson felt underrepresented. The focus in state government was slanted too heavily to more populated areas of either state. On November 27th of 1941, a group of young men carrying rifles blocked highway traffic and handed out copies of a Proclamation of Independence in patriotic rebellion against the states of California and Oregon. This gained national attention. Unfortunately for the people of Jefferson, their movement was short-lived. The mayor that had begun the movement died 5 days after the proclamation was first handed out. This was a huge blow to the movement, but 2 days later, the district attorney of Del Norte County was inaugurated as the governor of Jefferson. 3 days after that, however, Pearl Harbor was attacked on December 7th, the date that will live in infamy. As the United States geared up to be plunged into World War II, many supporters of the Jefferson movement refocused their efforts on the war, and statehood became a distant memory. In 1992, another attempt was made to create the state. A state assemblyman offered a referendum to the ballots of 31 counties to see if California should be split in two. Almost all counties where it was proposed voted in favor, and it seemed like the borders of Jefferson were growing. In this attempt, the legislation was introduced, but it died in committee. More recently, in late 2013, several counties' boards of supervisors voted to withdraw from California to form a state named Jefferson. In 2014, more counties joined, and in 2015, a couple more submitted as well. In early 2016, 21 counties in Northern California have either sent a declaration or approved a measure to send a declaration to the state of California with the intent of leaving the state to form Jefferson. All counties are within California with no representation from Oregon. In May of 2017, a lawsuit was filed against the California Secretary of State. It claims that the 1862 Constitution of California that limits the state senators to 40 and representatives to 80 is imbalanced and infringes on their 14th Amendment rights in regards to representation. As of the production of this episode, it's still in the courts and an ongoing dispute. As you can see by this electoral map, the counties of Jefferson voted heavily in favor of Trump compared to their peers in the South during the 2016 presidential election. I'd imagine many of them feel like foreigners in their own state. As the legal battle over the land of Jefferson continues to the south, I finally arrive at the ocean in Seaside, Oregon.